Hey everyone, thanks for tuning into the video. Another exciting video for you today. I'm going to teach you guys a little bit about masternodes, what exactly that they are, and how to start one yourself and use them. So the first thing I want to say is, as a disclosure, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, and I personally have lost money using masternodes. I only put in about $450 back in I would say like February, and they were pretty decent master nodes. They weren't ones that were complete garbage, but they were also pretty stable for what people had said. In the end, it turns out that they almost went to zero. I pretty much lost almost all the money. I still hold the tokens, and they're if they were to go up in value. Those two were Proxynode and Mark Arbitrage Coin. You can check them out yourself. But I pretty much bought them at a high. There was some good movement for a little bit, but then they totally tanked. So to be fully honest, a lot of people, a lot of YouTubers have videos on this and have talked about masternodes, but in the end, I don't really think it's a great investment. It's very extremely risky. Some of these coins have market caps below $100,000. They're complete garbage. They're most likely going to be going to zero in the future. I'm not even sure if they'll be very affected by a bull run. They're just completely useless projects. Dash is the only one I think that has a shot, but again, even that project itself is a little sketchy and it's expensive. So the only reason getting into masternodes now is good if you happen to find a very good project is if the token becomes more valuable in a bull run. Because back when 2017, when these bull runs were happening, some of these masternodes were like 10, 20, 30, even a couple $100,000 to run. Because for a masternode to work, is basically what it is you hold a certain amount of token and you pretty much run in the background. So you buy a certain amount of a coin and you help run the node and validate transactions by holding that coin and using it on the network. And you purchase it, you hold it, and you literally just sit there and just let it run, and it generates income for you. And you receive a certain amount of tokens every day, every week in return for you holding the token and taking the risk. Now, again, that token can increase or decrease in value based on the value of the actual price, and it's risky. So what I want to kind of show you here is this is the website. It's masternodes.online. It's probably the best one you're going to get, and it has tons and tons of masternodes. Most of these projects you've probably never heard of before, and I understand why. Again, it's not the best use of your time and investment, but it's certainly a way to hopefully make some money. I recommend doing your research, extreme research on these. You can look at some of the returns you can get. So let's just take a look as an example. Let's go to Dash because this is the one that has the most potential. So Dash, you can see here if you were to buy, if you scroll down, let's scroll down here. All right, so the masternode required coins right up here are 1,000 Dash. So if we just pull up, I think it's $176 for one Dash. So yeah, 176 grand to run this masternode. Okay, so the return on the masternode, as an example, is $31 a day, $220 a week, and then 11 grand a year. Now, not too bad a return, actually. It's not too bad. If you think about that, you're putting in almost 200 grand, but you're getting back, maybe 5%, a little bit more than 5% of your money, more, like 15 to 11 to 17%. Again, Dash was a lot cheaper back then, so that you can make $30 daily doing nothing basically, which is pretty good. But if you have 200 grand to throw around in a project that I'm not sure will make it in the long run, it's pretty risky. But this is an example of probably one of the best ones. There are other ones that provide very much better returns for a much lower price, but again, these coins are garbage, and just like what happened to me, you could end up going to zero. So just be careful. I recommend, in my opinion, again, just trying it out. Find a coin that you could just search by ROI here, and you could find like some of these are just out of control, like 54,000% return. B Hero coin, sharing my, these are just, it's so sketchy. We could just click on one of these. Let's just go with click chain because it looks like all right, so you can make $12 a day, $13 a day with this one. The price is 0.002 cents, and you just need 10,000 coins, so it's pretty much like nothing. $24 you buy, and this one will get you that amount. But again, there's zero market cap, at least very little data on it. The volume is 2 cents. The value has gone down almost 100% in one day. I mean, and in order to run these masternodes, it's difficult. I mean, to actually run one without a host sharing service it's a pain in the ass. I mean, you have to go on the website, you have to download their wallet and follow a ton of steps and have your computer on basically all day, 24/7, every day running to host the masternode. So this obviously is not very feasible strategy. If Dash is probably the best bet, but nobody has 200 grand unless you do to run this thing. So I'm just going to show you guys a platform that is very popular, and there are a few of these out there, but I'm just going to cover this one. It's called Gin platform. It's Gin, GIN.io, and this is a masternode hosting platform. So what essentially this means is, to run a traditional masternode, like I said, you have to have the computer open all day, 24/7, and that will drain a lot of electricity. It will destroy your computer in the long run. Is it worth it? It's possible. In terms of it depends on your investment, but essentially you understand what I'm saying. This platform will actually, if you pay them, I think it's just like $4 a month, which is nothing, per masternode that you run, because you can run multiple masternodes. You can't run two of the same coin though on this platform, but you can run separate ones. So it's about $4 per masternode, and it's supplied by Gin. So you have to go to an exchange to buy Gin, the Gin coin, and then you can transfer and send it to this platform, and that will be your collateral, and it will use to be pay the fees that are incurred per month. If you happen to run out of Gin, and then you don't reload, it will just stop running the masternode, and you just have to send more Gin and then reactivate the masternode, which is a pain in the ass. So if you're going to do this, I really recommend just buying enough Gin that will cover you for a while, because it's a pain in the ass. And sometimes I even got myself, lazy, and just it ended up being weeks before I reactivated it, because it's such a time-consuming thing. And you'll realize how sketchy this is, but you could run Gin, a Gin masternode right here for $219 total, which is not too bad. There are a couple good options on here. Again, this platform, all the ones I showed you on Masternode.io, that website, are not all going to be on here. Only the ones that are on this website can you use. So you can use Dash. I wish I had 200 grand. But you see what I'm saying. So that's kind of the spiel here. I can go into more detail. I just wanted to give you kind of an overview before I went into detail about how to actually start one of these, but it's pretty simple. You make an account, you sign in, and then there's pretty super simple instructions once you're logged in, and then you just set it up. So all you gotta do is get the Gin. You also have to find a way to buy the coin. You can't actually buy the coin on this website. You have to actually go to an exchange, which are super sketchy, by the way, that have some of these weird-ass coins. Once you are able to purchase them, you would simply transfer them to a desktop wallet that you could buy on their website. So that's kind of how this works. I'll go into more depth in the future on how to actually go through with this, but I mean, it's pretty simple to get started. It's pretty easy to figure out. If anybody knows crypto, if any of you guys know how to trade crypto in a standard manner out there, it's pretty easy. So you could just get it started yourself, and that's kind of how this works. So to be fair, wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of a waste of time. If I were you, I'd take a flyer with Gin, maybe something like that, something cheap, no more than $200 or $300 to throw around. You might get lucky. It's nice to have a couple dollars a day, maybe $10, $5 a day for free, just coming in. But I wouldn't recommend I would recommend only using this platform because it's not worth your time or your energy. And this, you can pretty much have your computer off as this thing runs in the background. So pretty cool. It's interesting to see, and I really think it's a possible decent chance at an investment. So that's all I got to say for you guys. Thanks a lot for watching the video. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this strategy, and if you have any recommendations on some nodes that I might be missing that might have worked out well for you, or that might be good for the future. Thanks a lot, guys.